Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome back to our QPR Career Mode. If you're not all nice and caught up, go check out the playlist, get yourself caught up, and then of course welcome to today's episode. A couple of spoilers coming in, so if you don't want to see them, jump back now, otherwise you're going to see the spoilers here and now. So yes, let's jump into today's episode. Firstly, small apologies, there's been a bit of a delay between episodes and uploads and stuff. Just been really busy with work, and finding the time to film and edit has just been a little bit few and far between, so my apologies. At the moment, we're sat in 7th place, 3 points off of Preston in 6th, but the goal difference is looking pretty terrible on a -1. To give you guys a bit of an understanding of the table right now, Leicester and Leeds pulling away at the moment from the playoff places, but Southampton hot on their tails a little bit. 10 points behind though is a bit of a gap, and actually the team we have up next, Southampton, Norwich, Hull and Preston finish off that playoff positions. We're just outside of that, along with a couple of other teams that are not far away at all, like 2 results going their way, and all of a sudden Coventry, West Brom, Blackburn are only a point in, and you know it's very, very close and tight around here. And at the bottom of the table, and worth noting before we talk about obviously the signings we've made, are Ipswich, Sunderland and Plymouth. Some of those teams having a very good time of things in real life. And it's a little bit crazy, some of the players and squads that are where they are. However, we had a relatively busy transfer window in regards to spending, I think, pretty much all of our cash. We did pick up Walters, Romain Walters, if I'm saying that right, I believe, as a sort of rotation right back / left back / centre back, can kind of do all three. Might sort of convert him to be able to play left back so that his weak foot goes to 4, and then sort of reconvert him back to right back and kind of use that as some rotation. But having him come in a number of positions is going to be huge for us. And then you can see here, we've got Joby Bellingham and we've got Connor Chaplin. Now, if you aren't already like keeping up the series and everything, I did say, and I'm well aware that these are not like crazy realistic signings based on real life. However, in this save, Ipswich are rock bottom and Sunderland are second from bottom, both looking more than likely to go down with their points totals and stuff right now. So we've gone in and picked up some bargains for real cheap prices. Like these players, the prices we picked them up for is absolutely crazy. I'm just going to very quickly move them both to the bench. So we've got Chaplin and Bellingham on the bench, and Walters. So those 3 that are there. Richards is probably going to be somebody that we maybe look to loan out. It kind of depends on how we do for the rest of the season and where we potentially end up as to where they go or anything like that. But just a very quick look in the old transfer hub, and we'll be able to see how much we bought them for, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But Romain Walters, he cost us £720,000 from Arsenal. Joby Bellingham cost us 1.3 million. That is a steal from Sunderland. Connor Chaplin was 1.5 million from Ipswich, and Labrovich was in the first transfer window on a free. So although, like I say, I'm well aware that in regards to real life, some relatively unrealistic signings, based on where we're at right now and how things have panned out, including the teams and where they were, I think they're 3 relatively realistic signings considering everything. So let's jump into the episode. Let's go and work towards our first game. What I will say very quickly is we'll have a look at the monthly scout report while we're here, see if anyone stands out. Will Booth looks like he could be a decent player, so we'll keep an eye on Booth. Reece King, it's a no from me. Albie Austin, again, that starting and finishing rating's not great. Nathan Welch, I don't think he'll ever really end up coming in, as he's 15, and I mean, like 50 rated is going to be a no. Dylan Hart is a no. Hugh Johnson, definitely not my friend. And Dominic Parkin, also no. I'll keep these 3 scouted. Townsend, Booth and Welch, we'll keep them scouted, just see what sort of comes back from those. But yeah, for now, no one else being brought into the youth system. In regards to a little scout report I did on Sam Curtis, so I was torn between Curtis and Walters. Those were the 2 that I was sort of thinking about. But yeah, we ended up going with Romain. And then our youth system at the moment, a couple of people that are, so Randall and Spencer, both at 17, might be worth calling them up soon. Anyone that's looking really to potentially be called up at any point, not really. And we do have some great potential options. I mean, to be fair, Ibrahim Spencer looks like he's going to be fantastic. So keep him doing his thing, keep him training, and maybe he can, if he hits like 60, we'll definitely call him up. I want to call him up anyway, get him loaned out. He could be a good player for the future. Saw some comments talking about trying to bring some youth players through, and I am genuinely trying to do that. It's just a matter of finding somebody that can come through and be that talent that we need, because at the moment, I think it's Said is the highest rated youth player we've got, and he's like 62 rated. And he probably needs a loan or 2 out, because at the moment he doesn't really fit up to the squad anyway. So anyway, I've waffled a lot at the start of the episode. I'll see you guys at Southampton unless anything else happens first. Quite annoyingly, I've had this sort of sent to us from Begovic. I'm just going to say I've always done right by you in the past, and I think I have, to be fair, Aspen, mate. As you started sort of declining, I have tried to make amends, but it won't let me renegotiate with Begovic, I believe. Or was it that I chose not to? Oh, I could if I wanted to. You know what? Just for the sake of keeping people happy, I'm going to delegate renewal. I'm going to offer 4.9. I'm not going above 7, which is what he's currently on. He's taken 6.9. You know what? No extension. I know that sounds silly, but he's on £100 a week less. I've sorted that out. I've renegotiated a contract with him. I don't suppose that's the worst case scenario. Regardless, we're on match day for Southampton. I believe the team is going to be relatively tired. We've got a few players that are a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit of rotation here. It's going to be, I think Holmes is going to have to come in. He is. Holmes is going to come in. It will be Clark sort of stays on the bench. In regards to like our forwards, it's only Armstrong that's tired, so I think it's going to be a first run out here for Chaplin. I'm going to make it centre forward so that he's in position. So Armstrong, I think just because of stamina and everything, take him off for now. Who do I want to chuck on the bench, though? I guess I'll throw on Richards. Yeah, we'll throw on Richards. It's quite an attacking bench, 4 attacking players. Bellingham is somebody I want to be able to convert to centre mid so he can play in the middle of the park here, be like a box-to-box. But that's the squad. Let's get into it. Fingers crossed. Actually, I've just seen Aussie's stamina as well. You know what? Throw him in. Trial by fire. Walters at right back. Let's go against third place in the table with a rotated team. You're very welcome, boys. I really am pushing it, but let's get those, roll the sleeves up, let's take it serious. Let's jump into it, see if we can get something from what's going to be a very, very tricky game today up against one of easily the best teams in the league. And I haven't obviously played career mode in a hot minute, so it's going to be a little bit of like refamiliarizing myself with what's going on. And yeah, just hoping that we can come away with something today, boys. Let's, fingers crossed, hope that we can just show up, put in a good performance. And 3 points would be lovely. I'm going to be honest with you. Come on, you Ars. Southampton are knocking this ball round lovely in these opening couple of minutes here. They are absolutely passing it around for fun, and I'm struggling to get the ball off them. I've not had a touch yet. It would be terrible to concede without touching the ball. Labrovic gets our first touch of the game with a really nice save, but the way they're working this ball round is really, really difficult to contend with. So going to just have to see if we can just try and get a foot on the ball and then try and build into it maybe a little bit. That's, I think, going to be the way we're going to have to attack this. So let's just try and concentrate on getting possession and not let them get too many chances early doors. That's a second shot, but it's a second save from our keeper. Go on, boys. Dizzel's going to bring this ball forward and get fouled in the process, but does keep hold of it. It's a really nice bit of play in the end from Dizzel. Good bit of strength to keep hold of possession. Going to play it out wide here with Field. Little layoff from Willock to Walters, and a nice little run there as well from Willock after a lovely touch from Walters. Can we play it inside to Lyndon? We can. We're having to be really patient here because you can see how quick they are to close this down. It feels like I'm playing against like a 71 depth foot champs team, boys. It's absolutely crazy the press that they've got on here, but I'm having to knock it round a bit. Chaplin to Willock. Oh, and it's just behind Lyndon. We had plenty of possession there. We had the ball for a good sort of 7 in-game minutes just trying to find the space, but it's tricky because the press from Southampton is brutal. Got to be careful here. Got to try and close down this run. I've pulled Walters all the way across, but he's done really, really well to actually win that. Now I'm going to play this ball from chair. Wanted it all the way through. You could see I asked for like an R1 through ball to play it, like to run onto, but didn't end up finding the way through. And losing possession could have been problematic. Walters has been really impressive. I have been very, very impressed with Walters so far. Does lose out a little bit there. He's going to try and get back. Does get in front of Armstrong. Good defence, mate. Let's not let that go to waste, though. Don't let that ball across. Well done, Cook, boys. We're defending really, really confidently right now. Although I don't feel confident, the players are putting themselves in the way and getting that job done. And now Chrissy Willock, by the way, look at this absolute burst of pace. Ryan Manning is not keeping up with him. Willock's going to try and just dink it into the box, but Manning in the end does get back. Going to be played across to Chaplin. Chaplin left foot, just wide of the post. Our first real threat, and that is massively down to a phenomenal run from Chris Willock, but it's a good effort. McCarthy, I don't think was going to get there, and it is just wide of the post. First chance from us sort of in the game, and it's just before the stroke of half time. So it really does show it's been a very, very cagey affair, with a lot of possession being in the middle of the park for us and a lot of their possession being in and around our box, without in the end having too many chances, two very good chances. But we've really limited them to not too many thus far. But it could be that they end the half with an attack. Let's try and not let that happen. This is 3 minutes into the 1 minute added on time, Raf. Thank you very much. But half time, 0-0, considering how strongly Southampton started. It's a result that I'll take so far. It's a good half time result for us. Can I see stamina for their team anywhere? I don't think I can I? That probably would be a little bit overpowered. But it's worth, like, as I say, it feels like I'm playing against a team playing like this crazy high press, and that I'm struggling with a little bit. Our players sort of making sure they don't miss out. But I think what I'm going to do here is bring in Joby Bellingham now. I think this is a really good time. He's got 65 with a little plus right now, 65 stamina. It's not amazing, but it would do for a half. I mean, Dazzel's got like 90 with all of his stamina right now. So maybe it's a bit of a risk me taking him off. But I'm going to bring on Joby Bellingham. I think it's a good opportunity to get him involved. The pace that Smith could provide down that right-hand side, I need to remember that. I need to remember that at some point, Paul Smith against Ryan Manning is Paul Smith's all day, because if Willock absolutely bursts in for pace, Paul Smith is going to leave him in the dust, boys. So let's not forget that one, and let's try and push into the second half with a positive start. Let's not let them have, you know, the lion's share of possession where possible, and let's really try and get another couple of chances or two, because it's been few and far between. Well, it's been one for us. Let's be honest, boys. Got to get back and cover here. Bellingham trying to do that sort of covering central position. It's played out wide to Ryan Manning. Walters got to stand up the opposing fullback facing up against him. Manning's going to have a shot on Labrovic. That's terrible. Ryan Manning comes back to bite us in the backside. Ex-QPR man put Southampton 1-0 up. That's shocking from Labrovic. That really is. I've maybe not defended it fantastically. I've tried to mark the pass, but you cannot get beat at your close post like that. That is absolutely woeful, mate. That is terrible. It's 1-0, and like I say, they really did push and look good for that 1-0 in the first half, but we really grew into the game, and it's disappointing, boys. But can we get a quick reply? That'll be quite nice. Harwood Bellis up against Chair here. Chair is going to keep going, going to look down and finds Chrissy Willock. Willock again up against Manning. Can we take it past him? No, we can't, although he does keep it. Dykes plays it to Chaplin. No, it's just about one again from Lyndon into Chaplin. I'm going to have to rotate. I'm just having to be really patient, but too much patient. I'm going to get some subs queued up, boys. It's 2 against 1 here. Powell, ball goes to Fraser, but Powell up against sort of 2 men there, and it's still a 2v1 with Holgate coming high up the pitch. It's going to drop to Fraser. There's loads of players in the middle, but I cannot believe, I was just about to say, I can't just rely on Labrovic to save the close post, because apparently he can't. Apparently close post and Labrovic do not mix. Don't rely on him to do anything if the ball's close post. That is infuriating, boys. Because again, look, 2 players jogging on the spot. I've got to mark that, otherwise it's a sweaty goal tap in, and the AI, like everyone in champs and rivals, are just going to do that. But Labrovic twice beaten at his close post. That is shocking. I've made some changes. Dykes, Chair, and Cook all off. Mainly all stamina situations. Smith on, as I said I was going to do, and then Coley and Ozzy on at centre back. But boys, it's 2-0, and both goals feel like just out of my ability to have stopped, because they're chances that I feel like that any keeper worth their salt, 74 rated as well, should be stopping, but apparently not. 2-0, boys. Manning through again. I've learnt my lesson. Don't let him shoot from here, because it's just going to go in. This is not a 3-0 game, boys. It really is not a 3-0 game. This is now very flattering to Southampton. This felt like an affair that was going to be cagey, and maybe one side would nip it with a cheeky 1-0, but at 3-0, again, it feels very flattering, and Labrovic has really not made a good name for himself today. He is very much disappointed, and it's results like this and silly goals like the first 2 we've conceded that will be the kind of thing that ruin a playoff charge, ruin that push for trying to get into playoffs, and it's it's worrying because, I would love to say that, in real life, QPR, of course, are nowhere near a playoff place. It's very, very evident. I'm not oblivious to that, but it's very, very disappointing if what we're doing right now is building a really good team, getting a real good gel of things going. Oh, Holmes, that's so unfortunate, mate. That's going to go in as well. Oh, it's off the bar. Labrovic, thank you. Cheers, mate. That would have been icing on the cake, really, wouldn't it, if I'd conceded that? But as I was saying, it's very, very disappointing to make such a good push initially with the squad we've got and then to sort of peter off in the way that we are at the moment. Obviously, there's still plenty of games left. This is the 30th game of the season. We've still got like a third of the league and the season to go, but it's disappointing to have a blip like this, and we are in the middle of a pretty rough blip. So 3-0. 3 points to Southampton, nothing for us, and a disappointing one. And I have to say, question marks on Labrovic, I think, have to be raised. Disappointing, boys. And I said the table was looking a bit tight. We're now down to 9th with that result. Millwall also dropping points, I believe, but Bristol City picking up points and going ahead of us. So, yeah, slightly disappointing, but there's not loads to be done about it. Still 3 points off Preston as they also drop points. Just again goes to show how important picking up these points would be, because a win there and we're level on points to them, just behind on goal difference. So it really does start to have an impact and start to become problematic. And if things weren't bad initially, playing against third place, we're now against first place in Leeds United. If memory serves me correctly, we didn't have a very fun time playing Leeds last time. I will look back and see what our previous result was, because I feel like we were comfortably beaten. Or was it when we were on a real good run? No, it was when we were on a bad run, but we got that as our one win. So maybe this could be a chance to try and recreate that, find that form a little bit again. So let's just work our way forward, and if anything happens, I'll see you there first. Okay, up against Leeds. It's worth one little thing. Obviously, I do have a little look at the bits of information that they give you about the teams and stuff. I just have a little look. It doesn't really change anything too much, but I always find it interesting to sort of see the formations and stuff we're up against. A lot of the Leeds players seemed relatively fatigued, relatively tired, which to me makes me think they maybe had a game on the weekend and are playing now, or had a game midweek and are playing again now. They play gegenpress, which means that it's quite a high demanding style of play. Obviously, I play tiki-taka, or at least I try to, and it's not as demanding. A lot of their players look like could be tired, and maybe that's what came into effect in the last game against them. So I'm going to be really patient. I'm going in with what is our strongest 11. Dunn is in for Cook, however. Same rating, obviously, but Cook slightly older, and so Dunn hopefully has a bit more sort of growth and potential in him. So I want to keep Dunn ticking through this team. I'd like to give him some more minutes because I do think he's a really, really good player in real life as well. But I'm going to really focus on a little bit of possession in this game and see if we can maybe tire Leeds out and then cause damage and threats once we've got maybe a slightly tighter 11 in front of us. That's my thoughts, at least. So hopefully that plays out. Field picks the ball up here, going to find Chair. He's going to see Armstrong running through. Armstrong's going to just try and get ahead of his man. Can't quite, so looks back to find Chair. Chair down to Lyndon. He's going to just have a strike from range. Meslier with a good save there down to his left. But I think as a save you probably expect him to make. But 10 minutes in, and we do have a corner here. Let's whip this one up. We're going to put it in the air just a little bit. Let's try and aim for our man Lyndon there. It's a good corner. It's a bit near to Meslier, but Meslier doesn't come out to it. Lyndon gets the header, and Meslier makes a fantastic save. I think we're going to kind of do same again, please. Maybe a little bit further away from the keeper this time. It's just as close this time. Meslier comes out to it. I need to maybe just work on my initial starting place there with Powell to aim a little bit further away from Meslier, because we know that Lyndon can win those headers, and we know he can score from them too. Armstrong out to Willock here. Willock going to just try and take it past his man. Lovely bit of dribbling there. Bit of R1 dribbling just to take it round him. I am going to be a bit of a sweaty fool. Didn't quite find the back of the net. Really solid start though, boys. It is me being a little bit more patient with possession and just trying to find confident and decisive passes instead of trying like audacious through balls maybe too often. So let's make sure we make the most of one of these chances. Good interception there from Clark Salter. Let's make sure we make the most of one of them, because it'll be terrible if I waste the chances that we've got. Ball here with Dazelle, and look at the space for Ilias Chair. he didn't make the run. If Chair had made that run, I think it would have locked onto him instead of Armstrong. But actually, Armstrong, with a good bit of strength to win it. Dykes to Armstrong. Meslier with another fantastic save there. Really, really well saved. I maybe should have asked for a bit more power with Armstrong, or I should have gone for the far post. But I thought, let's go close post. It seems pretty good against Labrovic, so let's try it out against Meslier and see if it works out. But it didn't. Ozzy and Willock here combining nicely. Lyndon, oh, it's a heavy first touch. Gives Cresswell a bit too much of the ball to see, and he does win it. Leeds on their first real chance bringing this ball forward here. Geldhart, who's a little bit further behind, into Ruta. Really good save from Labrovic. First thing he's been asked to do all game, and he does do it pretty well there. Good save, mate. And that is half-time. It is 0-0, and it's been a bit of a cagey game so far. We've definitely been the better side. Like I said in the game against Southampton, they had been the better team, but both teams with a couple of chances. We have by far been the better team. We've had way more of the ball, I think. We've knocked it around really nicely. Good bit of play, good couple of bits of triangles, and just playing it nicely. I'm actually curious. Oh, I thought we'd had way more than 51. It's a little bit closer than I anticipated, but Meslier is currently keeping them in this game for sure. What are we going to change here? I think what I'm going to do, just stamina-wise, because one thing worth bearing in mind, we do have a game against Rotherham in a couple of days. It really is not very far off. So Paul Smith is going to come on that right-hand side and hopefully just cause some threats down there. And I think I will start Chaplin and or Coley in the next game and bring one of them on during this game as well. But that will be a future Tom problem. I want to bring on Chaplin, give him like his sort of home start, or not start, but home game today as well. Same with Bellingham. So I'm going to give it just a little bit more time, maybe around the 60th minute, or as soon as the ball goes off around that kind of period. If I haven't already scheduled the changes, bring those guys on, see if they can have an impact. Maybe try Bellingham in Chair's position, or it might be that maybe he comes on for Field, whoever I think is tireder and needs the rotation. But let's go for it, boys. Let's try and make the most of a good and I think relatively dominant first half, and let's try and just make the scoreline kind of reflect that. Let's go for a big win, and actually let's immediately look at this space here for Smith, and the run there from Lyndon gets ahead of Cresswell, and Lyndon Dykes finds the back of the net. I'm glad I did not take him off, because I was considering it for Chaplin or Coley, but I'm glad I didn't. Lyndon with a big goal there. Lovely bit of play. Good stuff from Chair. Confident, calm play in the middle to Armstrong, who plays it out to Smith. Lovely little run, and then through ball to Lyndon. Good strength from him as well to hold off Cresswell, and just places it in that side. Or no, it wasn't quite the side, but in the back of the net. That's where it is, and that's what matters, boys. Big result. Hopefully one that can just settle some nerves and try and secure us a few more points. That's where we're at right now, boys. We need to pick up those points. Come on, you Rs. Come on. Somerville plays it inside here now to Ruta. Ruta going to try and bring this forward here. Clark Salter was closing him down. Oh, it wasn't really committed very well there from Labrovic. Didn't really hold on to it. And I tried to clear it, but instead slid in, but thankfully got rid of it anyway. And Paul Smith again, that pace is just so impactful. And Lyndon could be on for a brace here. And he is. He's found the back of the net. 2-0. And that's the dirty double from our flying Scotsman, Mr. Lyndon Dykes. It's a big showing from him right now. And I have to say, Paul Smith has come on and been fantastic. Him and Willock have both been very efficient and very effective in the last game or two. So it's worth noting those two are really stepping up to the plate. Nothing against Chair at all. I feel like a lot of what Chair does for me in this career mode is a lot less sort of noticed. It's not the kind of stuff you notice sort of being done. It kind of does the dirty work and just does a good job. But I think Willock and Smith have both been phenomenal. So it's worth paying attention to that. But I'm going to make some changes now. I did say that I was going to, and I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to take off Armstrong, give Lyndon this chance for a hat-trick. I'd feel bad to take him off. We're going to bring on Chaplin. Actually, you know what? We're going to bring on Chaplin for Chair. Play him out wide as Cam. See how he does there. Bring on Coley at striker. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring on Bellingham as a centre mid, and then move Dazal to centre mid as well. So take off Field, Armstrong, Chair, and we're going to go ahead and bring on Bellingham, Chaplin, Coley. And actually, you know what? I think Ozzy's quite tired, so we'll bring on Walters as well. Makes Dunn captain. All the new boys coming on, along with Rayan Coley as well. 4 changes, 25 or so, 25-30 minutes on the clock, but 3 very I think exciting signings, and Rayan Coley, who in himself is a very exciting young player as well to pay attention to. So confident with the change we made so far. A clean sheet from here will be fantastic because it secures the 3. Let's just be sensible here, boys. Yeah. Great defense there from Waters. Doesn't quite win the goal kick, but it's a really, really good tackle. Anthony's a very, very good player, so he's got a busy old day ahead of him for the last sort of 30 or so minutes. But Somerville also very competent wide player. It's going to be played in now to Cresswell. Jimmy done huge block because I'm not overly confident with Labrovic in goal, nor Begovic anymore. With obviously he's gone down like 3 or 4 ratings and has not been great since the rating decline. My word. Bodies being thrown on the line right now. Piero nearly with a good strike as well. But thankfully, Clark Salter in the way. I don't think Labrovic was quite reacting in time, but he was in a decent enough position to maybe have given himself a chance there. But again, Somerville going to play this into the box. Get it away, Waters. Get it out that way. Thank you, Chaplin, mate. Come on, boys. Let's bring this forward now. Oh, lovely bit of play. Actually, potentially here. Unlucky, Joby, mate. Oh, really nicely played here from Leeds. Ruta again with a strike. Labrovic. Some of the time, I don't know if you guys find this, with a lot of keepers, they make these dives and saves and stuff, but where the ball is saved on like the player is always odd, like people saving it with their face or like their elbow on their trailing hands. I find it really weird, but the main thing is it's not gone in this time. Patrick Bamford coming on here against QPR. Good jump up there from Waters. Really good stuff. Coley can't quite close down and get the ball there. It's not done just yet. Now it is. Bellingham with a chance to try and now bring this ball forward. Look at that space for Lyndon. Cresswell in an absolute no man's land there. And it could be 3 pretty identical goals, and it is. And Lyndon Dykes bags a hat-trick, our hat-trick hero. He has been phenomenal today. We scored 3 against Leeds last time. Lost me words there. And he's done it again. Here we go. Lovely stuff from Lyndon Dykes. Really, really nice finish. It was 3 almost identical goals. He just got wrong side of Cresswell 3 times. Lovely through ball to him. And he's bagged all 3 times. So very happy with that. This is a huge response, boys, from the previous game. After the game against Leeds, where we lost 3-0, to go and win 3-0 is absolutely massive. Against top of the table as well, nonetheless. So it really does go to show. It's kind of like Man City and Liverpool vibes in previous FIFAs, where because they play like a high press, their players get really tired really quickly and they were really easy to play against. I don't know if you guys remember that in like 23 and 22 and stuff, but that was quite a common thing. But actually could be on for a 4th here. Connor Chaplin, can he get involved? He's going to play it to Lyndon. It's going to go to Rayan Coley, and Rayan Coley just hits it wide. It's so unfortunate, but that is full time. That's all she wrote, and I will happily take a 3-0. Huge result again. Massive thank you, I guess, to Lyndon for scoring the 3 and helping us win 3 points. That is the result we needed. Absolutely thrilled with that result, boys. Not just for the fact that we were scoring, getting goals and looking good in front of goal, but actually the defensive display near the end of the game there, our players putting their bodies on the line to keep it at 2-0, keep a clean sheet, and then to go on and get the 3rd, obviously, just to cement it is huge. Still, obviously, not in those playoff places yet. Millwall obviously have played an extra game, but I think this game against Rotherham is our game in hand because it's in like 2 days' time, which is why I was trying to rotate a little bit. But obviously, we could overtake them if we get a win, but the best we can do is catch up to Preston if they don't win their game that they have also got in hand over Millwall. So let's just push on. Another win would be fantastic. It would be really, really nice to pick up back-to-back wins because I don't think it's happened in a little while, but I'll see you guys at Rotherham unless anything happens first. Just to keep you guys in the loop, a lot of people asked me to not be playing Powell at left mid when I then moved to that like 3-5-2 and he was kind of playing like a left wing back. I converted him to left mid and then it was taking forever to convert him back to a left back. He's now a left back, boys. So although I can't really train him in anything particular because he's reached his potential for the season, I'll get it ready that as and when he can, defensive wide back, get those defending stats up because 66 defending I think is a little bit harsh. Okay, up against Rotherham. Don't want to talk about the last game against Rotherham in real life or, in fact, in game. But we've got a bit of rotation. Holmes coming in for a tired Clark Salter. Bellingham coming in for Dazelle. Smith asked to start, and I'd mentioned previously how well Smith and Willock are both playing. So thought I'd try that out. I don't really very often not start Chair unless it's a fitness thing. So thought, you know what, let's try these two out and see how they do. Chaplin starting over a tired Lyndon Dykes. Kenneth Powell's quite tired, but our left back options aren't crazy in depth. So Kenneth Powell's going to start for now. We have got Waters and I've got Aaron Drew on the bench for sort of a bit of rotation. Waters can kind of cover all 4. Drew can do both fullbacks. But let's go into this game. It's, I think, 9th we are, or 8th maybe, up against Rotherham in 21st. So again, on paper, it looks maybe one-sided. However, we know that form doesn't necessarily mean too much, especially with how little form I end up having a lot of the time. But let's hope that we can come away with something today. Paul Smith starting. I hope for his sake he really has a really good start for us, because it'll be very important to me to have him keep up like an impressive start, because again, he really does have himself dubbed as a super sub for us with how good he is off the bench. It feels hard to not have him on the bench and bring him on to cause problems for defenders sort of, in the 60th minute or so. But let's see how he does starting. Come on, you Oz. Ball out wide here with Rotherham immediately. Good cross in there. Ozzy's got something to deal with. Onyedinma brings it down, plays the shot, plays it wide. Was always going to be difficult beating any goalkeeper from there, but I don't think that was going to go in at any point, thankfully. Willock going to play it inside now to Armstrong. Lovely run there from Willock to allow the 1-2. It's going to be played across. It's behind Chaplin, sadly, and he wasn't able to get onto the end of that one. Cook's going to have to come out and meet Onyedinma here. It's another ball in the middle. It's Hugiel there with a strike. Labrovic, not overly convincing with the initial contact, but does smother it in the end and keep hold of it. And a nice quick throw out here could mean a chance for Armstrong to run onto a ball from Willock, I should say here. And now Connor Chaplin. Oh, I've asked for the through ball, but it's happened a little bit late. Chaplin, has he stayed on side? I think he has, and he's found the back of the net. It's his first goal at home at Loftus Road. Very happy to say that. And Connor Chaplin, I'm very happy to have you here, my friend. Really nice bit of play. I asked for the through ball from Willock a little bit quicker, but I think just the touch that he had meant he took it a little bit further on, and the play happened a bit later. But really good touch or two there from Chaplin, and just a nice, calm, composed finish into that bottom corner, just across the goalkeeper there. Really, really nice strike. Good run as well from Bellingham to make his way into the box, because that could have been helpful if we needed it, but ended up not needing it. And Connor Chaplin gets his first goal in the blue and white of QPR. Absolutely fine with me. 8 goals in 25 in the league, obviously, because he scored a few times for Ipswich, but it's a really good start. 1-0. Chris Willock now bringing this ball forward, waiting for the defender to commit to him. Doesn't, so he's going to play it into Armstrong. Armstrong with a strike. It hits the defender, but he does get the ball back here. Going to play it to Field. Plays it out to Willock. Back into Sinclair Armstrong, and that's a lovely bit of play, boys. A little bit lucky with the way it sort of bounced around and everything, but really nice goal. Nicely played there, and this is the kind of performance we need a bit more often. I do think it's the way that Rotherham are playing up against us today. I think we've outmatched them a little bit. I'm slightly tweaking how I play, because I try and play things at times like I would do like squad battles, and let me know how you guys feel, but I feel like playing against squad battles and playing against the AI in career mode is very different. Obviously, I do have different sliders on, which makes the AI more difficult in career mode. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, maybe we've just found a little something for the last game or two, like up against Leeds felt good. Obviously, I don't want to talk about the first game, because that game against Southampton didn't go quite so well, but we're playing really, really nicely so far. And actually, this could be another chance here to maybe make it 3. Armstrong all the way across. This time, Willock finds the back of the net, boys. It's 3-0, 30 minutes in, and we are running riot. Absolutely what you'd love to see. 2 games back-to-back, scoring at least 3 goals after a game of conceding 3. So it's great to see us now picking up these good games in games that we should be winning. Sat just outside playoffs, trying to push into the playoffs, coming up against a team in the bottom 3 or bottom 4, I should say. You should be looking to get points from those, and at the moment we're looking good for it. 33 minutes gone, 3 goals scored, and 3 points, looking pretty healthy right now. Come on, boys. It's a good bit of play here from Rotherham. It's out to Onyedinma again, who's been their main threat so far, into Rathbone. Holmes can't get there, and it's a good goal from Rathbone. It's 3-1. I'm not going to count those chickens before they've hatched, but bit of sloppy defending from me, it has to be said. I didn't really mark the run from Onyedinma too well, and then when it came inside, I didn't give Holmes too much of a chance to actually come across and do it. So here from Ozzy, you can just see I've sort of walked past him, and then I've overcommitted with Holmes too quickly. 3-1. It's disappointing to lose the clean sheet, but what we don't want to do now is concede again and make it a 1-goal difference, because then all of a sudden that sort of comfy 3-goal lead being sort of knocked down to a 1-goal lead becomes very, very unreliable and a bit worrying. But could we get that 3-goal lead back? Yes, we can. Just like that. Kickoff glitch confirmed. Who knows? Lovely finish from Armstrong. Really nice bit of play. The triangle is just coming into full effect right now. And we are, as I said before, running riot at the moment. It's great to see us confident, getting goals, finding the back of the net. 4-1. Crazy high goal scoring game. But you know what? We take these results at the moment. And Armstrong looking good for the goals right now. 2 for him, 4 for us in total. And it's 4-1. Referee blows his whistle at the end of a very, very thrilling first half, but mainly if you're a home supporter here. Although it's great to see 5 goals, you don't want to see 4 of them against you, but really nice play so far from the boys. Very, very happy with this at the moment. We are playing some lovely football. You can see highlighting Armstrong in his first half performance. Not going to be taking him off. I know he's a little bit tired, but want to give him the full run out and really give him a chance to cement a good 45 minutes under his belt. Going to take off Willock and I'm going to bring on Richards just because he's a little bit unhappy, as you can see, not getting too many minutes. And we'll also take off Kenneth Powell and I'm going to bring on Aaron Drew at left back. 5-star weak foot, which for me kind of means justifiably you can do that a little bit. I'm going to wait to see which of the other defenders get tired first and bring on Walters for them. And then Dizelle will probably come on for Joby Bellingham because he looks a little bit tired. But we do also have Coley. We've got Chair, we've got options, boys. We're playing really, really nicely. It's looking good. 4-1 up without Ilyas Chair in the team is ridiculous to be able to say. So let's just say hopefully more of the same, boys. Let's just keep a nice, comfortable lead. That's the main thing. Ball here to Chaplin. Chaplin going to take a strike on his left. Johansson, really, really good save there. Good effort from Chaplin. You can just see, I don't know if you guys have noticed, the space we've got against Rotherham compared to the space we had against Southampton, who were just press. Even like against Leeds, although obviously against Leeds we looked a lot more confident than we did against Southampton because we played really nicely. Hold on a second. Joby Bellingham inside to Richards. Lovely dribbling from Bellingham there, by the way. That was really, really nice stuff from him. That was just real good to just keep the defender out of it. But it's very noticeable. Don't know what that was, Chaplin. Very noticeable the amount of space we have in comparison. And I think that's what's helping playing this sort of tiki-taka football, poor from me, tiki-taka football when you've got space is huge because, you know, you can be in a position like this where you've got that little bit of space, you just wait and see that opening and look, the switch across here to Smith and all of a sudden that space now is in behind the midfield and you've got your strikers in and it's huge. But up against Southampton, we just didn't have that. I couldn't play those switches that often. I had to really play backwards a lot to then be able to play forwards, whereas against this Rotherham side at the moment, we're making the space by playing forward. So that's, I think, where a lot of the goals are coming from. Richards with a bit of space to run into here. He's being closed down, but can he keep it? He can. Plays it inside to Chaplin. Going to try and play it back now to Richards, who stays onside. Can we get that ball into the box there? Paul Smith, not the aerial threat you really want to be aiming for, but does win the ball. Maybe should have brought it down and played it across the box, but it is what it is. I made a couple of changes here. Coley, Dizelle and Walters coming on for Chaplin, Bellingham and Kakai. The 3 most tired players on the pitch, and I think it just makes sense to do that. Although I say that, Chaplin wasn't quite as tired as Armstrong, but again, he's on a brace. I'd feel bad taking him off. If Sinclair Armstrong can bag 3 today, that would be absolutely massive. And if he ends up being a little bit tired and not being able to start the next game, so be it. I think it would be worth it for a hat-trick, in my opinion. So let's hope we can get that. And let's just, again, just keep sensible here. I know we've got a bit of a comfortable lead, and there's not loads of time left in the game. Good stuff there from Aaron Drew, but it's, you know, you still don't want to concede more than you should. That was a hell of a slide in there from Rathbone. He's having none of it, boys. Amoa here with the ball, plays it inside. Ferguson, it's going to be played inside again. Onya Dinma kicks it straight into, I don't even want to say where, to Labrovic. A good save though, but he's going to need to sit down. Rayan Coley now on the ball, just going to try and calmly bring this through. Sinclair Armstrong going to have a shot from range. I maybe got a little bit trigger happy there. Oh, nice bit of play here. Green on the ball. Going to have to try and close him down here with Cook. Cook does well enough there to step in and win that. And that should be all she wrote. Let's play a switch up here to Coley. There it is, boys. Huge result. Really, really love the way we've played there today. That first half was very impressive. I mean, very quiet second half in comparison. There was a lot of the ball in the middle of the park there. I kind of just stepped off the gas a little bit, just tried to be a little bit more defensive, focus on seeing the game out. So maybe not as exciting for the video, as many highlights, but just very, very happy to secure the 3 points. And again, just happy that we're playing some good football. Huge back-to-back wins. Very, very happy with that. And at the moment, you can see Preston dropped points again. They keep opening the door. They keep teasing us these opportunities to get into that top 6. And at the moment, we just keep getting to this position and then fumbling the bag. We can't do that again. We've got West Brom up next, who at the time of recording, we're actually playing them this evening. I'm filming this first thing in the morning before work. It's very early. I don't want to talk about it. And then I've got West Brom. We're playing against them in real life tonight. So we'll see if we can pick up anything. It's going to be a tough game. If they win, they go a point behind us. If we win, then we push clear of them a little bit, which is really, really nice. And again, it's just another opportunity to try and push into the playoff places, which would be lovely if we can. I'm just going to note and see if there's been any changes down the bottom here. Ipswich still looking very much like they're going down. Sunderland and Plymouth still struggling. But Rotherham, Huddersfield, I'd say, Stoke 7 points, you'd probably say that they're probably okay as things stand right now. But again, there's still plenty of games to go. We're 32 games in. There's still plenty of games and plenty of things that can go wrong. So let's crack on. If anything else happens before West Brom, I'll let you know. Okay, up against West Brom, you can see the starting 11, pretty much what is our starting 11, but Chaplin's in for Armstrong and Dunn in for Cook. As I say, that is a change that I'm slowly going to be implementing through the season because I don't think Cook will be really with us and starting much next year in the save, but Dunn is more likely to be here and still playing, getting minutes and stuff because of age at this point. So Willock and Chair as our wide cam, sort of back to that as our usual, but let's crack on. Let's see if we can take anything here from a very, very tough West Brom side. Again, this for me is just another chance for us to be in this 7th position and push up. But every time we get to 7th and we get within, touching distance of a playoff place, we don't quite seem to follow through and get there. So let's just hope that we can do that today. Fingers crossed, everything crossed that we can. Come on, boys. Let's just pick up a big 3 points again. We've played so well in the second and third game today. The first game obviously was a bit of a blip. Didn't play very well in that, but hopefully, again, it can be just another sort of AI playing style that we play well against. That's what we've got to hope for. Come on, you ours. Oh, bad tackle there in the middle of the park, but we are going to play on there. And probably, hopefully, that's pulled back for a yellow because I think it should be. But Willock here going to just sort of bring this ball forward into Lyndon, into Chaplin, or try to turn the man. I maybe should have kept it with Lyndon and just had a pop because Chaplin had the man on him there. But not a bad little start. But we're showing that we can get that ball forward for sure. Oh, bit of bad luck there. Ball's bounced off of Diangana from Aussie's clearance, and they managed to bring it forward, but we have got it away there. Lovely stuff, boys. Oh, lovely bit of play now. Try and get in there with Aussie. Good stuff there, blocking the shot from Swift. But Diangana tries to play it out again. The clearance from Clark Salter is not good enough. And the strike there from Maya is going to find the back of the net. He has been booked, by the way, for that first tackle. It's just showed that his name was up in yellow there. But that's unlucky because I think we defended that pretty well, and then it's just sort of bounced around a little bit, and the clearance from I think it was Kenneth Pal actually, so it's 22, wasn't good enough. It's fallen straight back to West Brom, and they've gone 1-0 up. It's a disappointing way to concede, but yeah, it's 1-0 to West Brom. Labrovich not getting anywhere near that one. Lovely strike, and yeah, 1-0. Maya, how's your goal scoring season this season? 4-31. Well, never mind, mate. Ball now to Willock. We see the run there from Chaplin. He continues his run now. Can he play it into Lyndon? He's going to try. It's poorly defended. It's straight at Griffiths with the strike, though. Didn't really feel like I could have kept running and then play it into anyone because there was no one in there, which is a bit unfortunate. Ball now to Dazelle. Dazelle doesn't quite find the ball out to Willock. Neither does Field, but Dazelle does the second time of asking. And Willock now going to try and bring it down into Lyndon. It's unfortunate. It's not good enough. Oh, Diangana absolutely away here. Aussie and Dunn, neither of which really going to catch him for pace. Plays back to Maya, plays inside to Wallace. Wallace with the strike. It's off the post. That could have been problematic. That could have very easily been 2-0, boys. That is a wake-up call if being 1-0 down wasn't already one. But maybe a chance on the break here. Willock going to try and take it around his man, and he does so fantastically well. Can he bring that ball forward? He can. Let's get this ball in the box. Good tackle from Townsend. It is going to be a corner. We know with Powell on his left foot and with Lyndon on the pitch, we have got a chance of stuff from corners. A lovely ball in, not quite enough power on it. Willock's going to head it onto the defender, and we are going to get a second. Oh no, we're not going to get a second chance. I thought that hit the defender. Apparently not. Never mind. Oh, another good chance here. Maya coming forward. Aussie with work to do. Jimmy Dunn, thankfully, just sort of backpedals quickly enough to get in the way of the potential pass across there. That would have been problematic, but it's not done just yet. Still work to do here. Ball out wide. Diangana tries to cut inside. Aussie Kakai steps in well, and again we bring it away, but we are living life a little bit dangerously. Well, that is half time, boys. It's 1-0 to the home side, and it's been a slightly disappointing half. We've not really threatened too much. That chance from Lyndon, the best we've really had to offer. It's been chances that are few and far between. It's not been overly exciting from us, but we just need to pick up a little bit more here. And I don't really know the best way to achieve that. I think one thing that is going to happen is we are going to have to really consider bringing on Paul Smith, because again, that pace that he offers, man, is just too much. And again, it's going to be at the detriment of Chair, sadly, just because Willock, again, coming into the game, feeling really good, really enjoying using him. Don't really want to take Aussie off just yet. I'll give Walters a bit more time off the bench, but it's not going to be right away. I think the play here is going to have to be Lyndon off for Armstrong. Just have some pace up front. Just get some players in behind a relatively slow back line and just see if we can cause threats that way. So 2 changes at the break, both attacking changes, and hopefully 2 impact substitutions, 2 players that can come on and just make a difference up front with the addition of pace. Really good ball there, Diangana with the header, but Labrovic claims it nice and easily. But yeah, hopefully the 2 pacey additions can just come in and make a difference. And let's see here just how quick Smith's going to be. Swift gets back really well, actually, but he covered Townsend there. 2v1, I think that the West Brom players had a bit of an advantage, but a one-on-one, I think Smith has got him. Armstrong's going to bring this ball forward. Going to slow it down a touch to try and play it over the top. It's not a great ball in the end, but Chaplin does enough to cause some problems there. And actually, the ball's out wide here with Smith, and this is the one-on-one I'm talking about. Smith gets ahead of his man, has the strike, top corner, absolutely perfect in the end there. Really good stuff. Chaplin getting in the way enough to cause the defender a bit of a problem, not clear it the way he'd want to. Armstrong does really well to pick up the ball and play it quickly to Smith. And Smith, as I say, he's got the beating of Townsend for pace. Perfect example of that. Comes on, finds that top corner, and just like that, boys, we're back in it. 1-1. Paul Smith, love that from you, mate. Come on, let's go. Come on, you ours. Diangana with another chance to cross it in, but thankfully crosses right to Labrovic, who saves it pretty comfortably. And Willock now going to try and set away Chaplin. Oh, it's maybe a bit poor decision there from me with the way I ran with Chaplin. I ran kind of to go across Ajayi. I should have maybe just tried to run sort of to the side of him that I was already on, but I've invited a bit of a chance here for Wallace. Wallace now going to find a bit of space and help there from Pippa. Probably said that wrong, but thankfully good work from the boys to get it away. And actually maybe here Samfield could be a bit of a catalyst to starting an attack of our own here. He's going to keep an eye on that run from Ajayi, but Chaplin going to have to hit it pretty quickly. Griffiths, fantastic save. It was going in, that one. That was a really, really good strike from Chaplin. A bit of a snapshot, but very good save from Griffiths. Diangana with a good ball forward. Jake Clark sort of steps in fantastically well. He needed to there because that very easily could have been a really good chance for them. And Armstrong going to try and set away Chaplin. But again, it's a bit of a disappointing pass, and it gives Chaplin far too much to do, and it gives Ajayi the heads up there and the easy interception. I've had some changes, by the way, queued from about the 75th minute, but the ball has not left the pitch. So those changes haven't happened. But Diangana up against Ozzy here. He's been pretty eager to get the ball in the box, Diangana. He's been crossing very, very quickly normally, but doesn't that time. Works it into Wallace with the acrobatics. It does go wide. These changes are going to happen with probably I'm going to take the goal kick and it's not going to matter. But I've taken off Ozzy, Dunn, and I think it was Dazelle. I brought on Walters. I brought on Cook, and I brought on Joby Bellingham, but they literally didn't even touch the ball. So never mind. 1-1. I'll be honest, it's not a bad point to have gained, but I'll tell you right now, if Preston even remotely dropped points, even if they got a draw, I'm going to be livid that I didn't have a chance to go 3 points clear of them, because I've had that opportunity many, many times and I've not taken it. So that will annoy me, but it's a point well earned considering we went 1-0 down. Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag of some results today when you take the first game into sort of consideration too. But overall, I think I'm pretty happy with how we performed today. We are still in 7th place, and Preston did in fact drop 2 points. They themselves only got a draw as well, which is just, again, vaguely infuriating, because we could be on 53 and we could have finally broke into the playoff places, but it hasn't happened yet. But we do still have time. As I keep saying, the season is by no means over yet. You can see, obviously, once we finish the game against Birmingham, which will be in the next episode, we've got 1, 2, 3 months still to go. So it really is starting to get to that crunch time of the season. And you may or may not have noticed, but Preston is actually the last team of the season for us. So it could be that game ends up being really important to try and secure a playoff place. But we've got some tough teams. Hull are right up and amongst it at the moment. Leicester we had on that page there as well. And, you know, we've got Watford, who might not be doing great in the save, but they are, obviously, they've got some really, really good players. And Birmingham as well. Birmingham, really, really good team. Just not having a good time in the save particularly. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's episode. If you have, then please do leave a like on the video. It supports me, the video, the channel, and the series out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and hit the notification bell to be told anytime that we upload a video. I also want to say, check out the live streams over on Twitch. That's Hursty Games as well. There's a link down below along with my TikTok and my Twitter. Go show them some love. I really appreciate it, guys. But for now, guys, I want to say massive thank you for watching. I have been Tom. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you very soon. Look after yourselves. And of course, wash your hands. Take care.